Never had the chance to even actually talk to this guy one-on-one. And he just sits there, stands there, unabashed by anything. I cannot wait to break you. Ruin. Oh, hello. Sorry, I was preoccupied with entertaining myself since I am stuck in one room, watching animations of all sorts. What are you doing here, Eclipse? I want answers to my questions. Ah, of course you do. Why wouldn't you? Suppose I can answer them to the best of my abilities then, shouldn't I? What is it you want to know, Are you just going to stand there and stare at me? Or why'd you make me? I believe I answered this question towards Moon. It was so that they could get distracted. No. They have a lot of things you could have done to distract them. But me? You were the easiest. Something I could make off the back burner of all their trauma. It was easy to make you, at the very least. It was very easy to make you. It took a very little time, to be very honest. And why? And how? How did you make me? I built your body, of course. Building the body is probably the easiest part in this whole ordeal. The second thing I did was I looked at all the documentation of your person. All the insecurities, all of the belligerentness of it. And I simply put it into your being. All the memories I could find anyways. All of it. Yes, as much as I could find. However, that does not truly mean that you are Eclipse, in a sense. What does that mean? What does that mean at all? Of course No. You're not. You know it too. You are a photogenic copy. A version of which you believe yourself to look like. You are an eclipse in the same way that I am sun and moon. Of course they can put on their voices and act like them. It's not a hard thing to do. You are simply a mimic of the initial eclipse. That one is gone. That eclipse is never coming back. His system has been destroyed down to its very core. You are not the same, and nor will you ever be. Blood Moon. Same thing. I built his body, and then I put his memories and such into it. I had to make some adjustments, though, because I didn't wish to make nanomachines. A simple body would have been enough to cause a distraction and help me with my plans at the time. And he was helpful. He was very helpful. You don't seem satisfied. Why would I be satisfied with any of this? I died. I have all these memories that aren't even mine. And you made me for no reason other than to just be your puppet, your pawn, so that way you can go on a genocidal maniac tour. Call me a genocider. I mean, technically you are correct. You still would have done it, wouldn't you? Yes. I would have done it again. What's your plan in all this? You gave yourself up willingly, came here of your own volition. So what? Moon could just kill you? Do you not want to enjoy the fruits of your labor of a creator, freed, and multidimensional? I don't care to enjoy it. I watched my world turn asunder. I watched my friends turn against one another, as their minds slowly were consumed by that infernal virus. All of them succumbed to it. They all slowly drove themselves mad. I knew my goal when I figured out why they were going insane. And I had to act as the crazy little man that I was, who wanted nothing more than to play games and hurt people while playing the games or whatever crap it was. I learned I needed to get rid of the creator. But if I just got rid of him, another one would have taken his place. Especially that stupid council of theirs. I'm more than happy that I've killed every creator in a weird form of justice. My friends were avenged. And I am happy for that. Your friends are all dead. The dimension, you mentioned your dimension is destroyed. Why? Of course my dimension's destroyed. The wither storm had eaten everything there. It is now an empty house. What's the difference between a destroyed and collapsed dimension? Can you answer that? Well, certainly. A collapsed dimension is one in which let me use a metaphor for you, if you would. As I said in the house, a destroyed dimension is an empty house, something that is no longer carrying any living forms of life in any capacity. The carpet grows gray with dust, the walls slowly corrode over time with dirt and mold and grass and greenery. A collapsed dimension is the sheer destruction of that home. Nothing remains, no dust to be gathered up, no greenery to be growing into, and no mold for it to get into as well. My dimension is destroyed, yet I can still remain. But Solar's had a creator, one of which it was a very dangerous person. Sure, they did not destroy the dimension in any capacity, but they were still very dangerous. Why do you ask about Sola? I was under the impression that you thought him as a lesser and inferior, yet you ask for why. No reason. What have you been cooking up in your head, Eclipse? I simply ask because, well, knowing you don't go around asking redundant questions, unless they give you some form of knowledge, or if you can use it. I'm going to make an astute guess as though you have somehow found out a way to bring Sola back. Why would I, in any capacity, try to bring him back? I hated him. True. Very true. Perhaps it's just the nature of a person to try and do some good. I mean, after all, you're not exactly the same. There will be some errors. Maybe you're not as cruel as the original. Maybe you're not as poignant as the original. Or as smart. But at the end of the day, I see. I see it now. The bit of codes I stole from Sola. Now, given the situation Sola was in, it just seems to stand to reason it would... What are you talking about? How rare do you think a Sola is? In any universe? Why does it matter for me to answer that? Well, I simply thought it'd be, a neat question of my own. They're rare. They're very rare. Exceptionally rare. You see, when Moon throws you to the wolves of Sun's head, you usually turn evil. You turn very angry, evil, and destitute almost. To cultivate a Sola, though, you need to grow as a person. The difference between you and Sola is that he suffered. Sure, you too were stuck in the mind of Sun's head. But There's a reason you turned out the way you did, plotting and scheming. You didn't try to talk even a little bit, to learn some fruits of knowledge. No, you went to hatred and vengeance almost immediately. You know what Sola did? He took over Sun and demanded answers. What does this matter? All I'm saying is that there's only so much I can copy from a Sola to make an Eclipse. Yes, you share many of the same personality traits. The sass, the rambunctiousness, and all that sort of bullshit. But perhaps I took a bit too much. Copied a bit too much. You're still not happy with that, are you? What? That the reason you're changing, or the reason that you're trying to bring Sola, I'm not bringing him back. The reason then that you are slightly better than your previous self is because Sola is a little bit in you. You know, maybe it is Sola that is affecting your consciousness. Or maybe it's not. Maybe it's the fact that you realized that the enemy of my enemy is my friend. Or maybe I'm completely wrong and you're trying to play Moon to get his guard down and eventually kill him. You've been doing a horrible job of that, though, haven't you? When Moon gives the go-ahead. Yes, I know you're going to torture me until I can't talk, until I can't breathe, until I can't just... whatever, until I'm dead. I understand what you're going to do to me. I don't care for your vague threats anymore. And your belligerent questions in any capacity. If you have any more things you wish to ask, then I shall simply ignore them. You clearly don't want me to give you information that will be helpful in any regard, at least. Do you know how many people are going to try to kill you? Oh, I imagine in the last-ditch efforts, why wouldn't they try to kill me? Make some amalgamation, make some thing that'll try to get to me, or perhaps maybe it'll even be somebody from this dimension that'll wish my death upon my head. I certainly know Earth does. She does not wish for your death. Oh, surprising. That one should learn how to be a bit more cruel, I say. Why don't you leave her out of the conversation? Oh, well, that is a little funny, I shall say. Are you... No. What? I'm not going to say any more. Don't wish to spoil the surprise. I would request that you leave me be, no, Eclipse. I'd rather go back to watching my anime. I hate you. I know. I hate myself as well. All the killing and trickery. It does get to me. There was nothing I could do to save him, by the way. You've already said that. Why are you mentioning it again? Because you're wondering. There was nothing I could do to save Sola. Copying his data, pasting it into a bin or a folder, certainly would have made a backup of him. But however, the memories, those you cannot back up. If I just made a backup of his personality, it would have made you. So disappointing. You could have been great. Goodbye, Eclipse. You should just kill him. What's the harm in it anyway at this point? Data? Like he has anything that'll help us in any capacity. It's fine. I'm fine. When the time comes, I'm gonna kill him. And if anybody gets in my way like that amalgamated wired freak, I'm killing them too.